Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Zay Officially and I'm super excited today to talk about all things Ariana Grande. Before we begin, be sure to like, subscribe, and comment down below what other pop culture moments you want me to cover on this channel. Let's get into it. We're about 2 weeks into 2024 at the time of this recording, and a lot has already started to happen. And one of my favorite things to start off this year is the return of Ariana Grande to music. Ariana Grande hasn't released any new music since 2020, besides a couple remixes and collabs over the last 2 years. Last year, she was in the news a lot for a lot of her personal life and personal narratives that really isn't that important in the grand scheme of her music, but it is really important that we recognize that she is returning. This is a big moment for pop culture now that Ariana Grande can be considered one of the main pop girlies in today's time. She has been my #1 artist on Spotify for I think 3 years in a row now. If you're wondering what's this big blob right here, this is my doggy Stormy. She's about 8 months. She's a toy poodle. And so she's gonna be making some guest appearances in some of my videos. So Stormy, say hi to the people. Well, she'll say hi later. So today we're gonna go ahead and get started with Ariana Grande's new music video and song for Yes And. I'm super excited. This is my first time listening to it. I did hear a small preview on Twitter earlier today, as well as I saw like a small clip that she shared on her Instagram related to the video. So I'm super excited to see how this goes. So let's get right to it.
Oh yeah, real exclusive. Typical Ari.
You know, I think I liked it better when her ponytail was a few centimeters higher. Right. And I mean,
all right, so we're in the elevator.
I miss the old Ari. You know, the singer.
You don't.
Okay, I will say I do miss the old Ari in terms of I miss nice music reviews and hear her release new albums. So I mean, I understand that point. Okay, fair. All right, so we're in a warehouse. Before we get into it too much, I did see online that it said that it's supposed to be sampling Madonna, I think Vogue. So I can already tell it's gonna be like a house trappy type of beat, which is not too familiar with Ariana Grande's music. Some of the songs she did that leaned kinda into house was Bad Idea from her 2019 Thank You Next album, which was kind of like a EDM house beat, and Be Alright, which is from her 2016 album, Dangerous Woman. And both of those songs were really high on my to-do list. Like they went triple platinum in my household. So I do think she can do this. I'm just a little nervous about how this is gonna sound in 2023. Okay, and I think these are critics because they were talking about her in the elevator. All right, so let's look at this first scene. So I also saw a clip online saying pay extra attention to the statues. A lot of the statues kind of represent her old album covers. So for example, there's one laying on the ground and then they have their arms folded like this, and it kind of resembles the Thank You Next album cover where she was like laying on her back and she's like has her arms crossed. Then you have the staircase, which is kind of indicative of the Sweetener era. So when she was on like sitting on the staircase, and the pose of the statue on the staircase looks more like her Yours Truly pose where she kind of like had the shoulder up and she was like staring at the sky. And then we see one girl sitting with like her like kind of like slanted to the side a little bit, and that looks like her pose when she was sitting on that chair in her My Everything album cover. So I'm starting to see a little bit of a trend. Ooh. So far the video, even though I'm just like in the first like minute and a half, it kind of looks like a music video from like Paula Abdul or Janet Jackson in the late 80s. It's giving that vibe of In the Warehouse. And I typically like those type of music videos where it's like people just dancing. So I'm hoping to see a little bit of choreo, which I feel like with the way this is already starting, is gonna be some choreography in here. Okay, shuffle. I'm really happy to see Ariana Grande doing a little bit more choreography in this video. People forget that she is a dancer. I know one of my favorite videos from her was an unreleased video what she did with Chris Brown. I think it was called
7 hours later.
Don't Be Gone Too Long, where she was dancing, and people forget like she is a trained dancer and singer. So it's really cool that she's doing more dance movements in her music videos and giving a little bit more choreography. The ponytail is still there. It's very much intact. Say that.
I actually do cuss a little.
Do you?
Also, yeah.
What's your favorite curse word?
Probably fuck.
Sit with your chest. I cannot stress that enough. I remember freshman year of college, I used to say this to an old friend of mine. She was just trifling.
Pretty much, I will let Gemma know that she is a fat
She was just trifling and she would not say anything with her chest. And I was like, why are you talking about me behind my back? Like, just say it to my face. And all right, I like what she said in the terms of like hiding behind your own projections or live my most authentic life. I think that's calling out the people and the haters. Like this, I think this is really simplistic. It means what it means. Where sometimes people will say that you are a certain thing, but you don't fall into that category. It's really them trying to hide their own insecurities. I'm seeing all the critics are starting to get really hot and they're trying to take off their clothes. Could that be like, oh, you're putting someone in the hot seat, so now you're like feeling the heat and you don't want to like actually admit to what you're doing or admit the truth? Could that be like, because as a celebrity, she's been put under the microscope because of all of her relationship drama or some of her personal life decisions, and it's like she's in the hot seat, so now she's putting the critics in the hot seat because I think she's trying to get them to feel what she feels. Put in the comments if you think I'm reaching. Do not comment on my body, do not reply. So I love that she's calling out her haters, like she's really calling everyone out from point A to point B from her critics without explicitly saying names. I remember early in 2023 and in the summer, she was called out for like looking a little frail or looking skinnier than usual.
I know personally for me, the body that you've been comparing my current body to was the unhealthiest version of my body. I was on a lot of antidepressants and drinking on them and eating poorly, and at the lowest point of my life when I looked the way you consider my healthy, but that in fact wasn't my healthy.
And Ariana Grande's always been a smaller, more petite woman anyway. So when people were making those assessments and those judgments that, oh, she has to be sick, she must be depressed, starting rumors about people without really knowing who they are and knowing what they're going through, it leads to other rumors and more like terrible things happening, misinformation being spread about people. And you have to sometimes think like, yes, celebrities do put themselves in a position where their life is under a microscope, which is fair. But yeah, people shouldn't be commenting on her body. Let a woman live. I think keep your comments to yourself, babes. See, one thing I love about her is that over the past like 3 or 4 years, her music has been really explicit, but this is like a subtle way of saying like, who do you care who I'm on top of? Like, let me be on top of whoever the hell I want to be on top of. They always say your biggest haters and critics are always your biggest fans. Are they gonna turn back into statues? Oh, they came back into statues. All right, everyone, so that was Ariana Grande's Yes and music video. My general thoughts, I'm gonna be honest, the song is not my favorite Ariana Grande lead single. However, I think it's probably gonna grow on me.
Okay, you got me there. But that is not a crime.
A lot of the modern day house music and house samples really have not been my favorite, but after a couple of listens, I think I'm gonna like it. My only fear is I think that had she released this like a year or two ago, it probably would have been fit better with the current genre of music. I think right now it's just like house did get a renaissance, but I think that it's kind of like on its decline a little bit now. And I'm saying this just because like Beyonce released Renaissance in 2022 and I did not like the album at first, but it wasn't until like early 2023 when I had listened to it like 2 or 3 more times that I actually grew to love the album and love a lot of the singles from there, especially with the visuals. Even if I don't like the song, if the music video is good, I would like the song more. So like had I just listened to the song first without watching the video, I would say I probably don't like it as much, but I will say the video was a nice addition because it was a very simplistic video with a lot of concepts and a lot of messages in it. And I think
today. Oh my God, what is that? Oh my God, what is that?
Oh hell no!
it does add a nice visual, especially seeing Ariana Grande do something that's a little bit outside of her comfort zone for her music videos in terms of choreography. And it was a lot of clean, sharp lines. On a scale of 1 to 10, I would give the song maybe a 6.5 right now. It's good, it's not the greatest, but I think it's a grower, not a shower. But the music video, I'll give it 8. I like a nice, clean music video. The music video reminds me a lot of like Paula Abdul, Janet Jackson from the 80s and 90s, and those were very influential of modern day. I also will say I like how she used the sample, because even though it is a Vogue sample, sample, it does still sound somewhat fresh, because I know a lot of debate has been brought up about sampling in today's time from like artists like Sweetie, who uses a lot of samples and doesn't really reimagine it to certain people's expectations. But then you have an example of like Victoria Monet with Oh My Mama, and I think that was a really genius way of using that sample but making a brand new song. So I think Ariana Grande did a good job of kind of like remixing the sample that is already so popular into a new reimagined thing. If you made it to the end of this video, I want to say thank you so much for supporting me as I get this YouTube channel off the ground, because I think it is important to share your voice with people and share your opinions. If you like this video, please check out some of my other videos. I'm Zay Officially, and I'm officially glad to have you a part of this family. See y'all later.